Shalom and welcome. This is Chazar Eliyahu Yasharal, and today we will be looking at part 2 of the Rapture and the simple question, who will be caught up? Much to be brought out to this simple question. Many will be surprised as to what the scriptures actually say about what is called the Rapture. So in our previous video, we looked at the rapture. We looked at the rapture, true or false. We looked at whether what they call the rapture is actually pre, post, or mid-tribulation. And we also looked at whether or not it was the second coming. But today we are going to be looking at who will be caught up. Because the world has been led to believe that what they call the rapture will happen to every single Christian when JC returns. Of course, because we do not use precept upon precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little, then we cannot get the true understanding, which is what we are going to attempt to do today, to show exactly what the scripture means about who will be caught up. And this that they call the rapture is from the term caught up, which is the Greek harpazo, which actually means to seize in various applications, catch away up, pluck, pull, take by force. So it actually means a pulling up, a snatching up of believers when the Messiah returns. So this pulling up, snatching up, we're going to look at it, because we already looked at this in our first look at the rapture in 1 Thessalonians 4, but we have to look at it again right here. And it is in 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. Again, the 1 Thessalonians 4:13 to 17 is actually speaking about the resurrection of the dead and how it will actually compare with those who are alive, who will take preeminence in the resurrection of the dead, the first resurrection. So it says in 14, for if we believe that Yahusha died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahusha will Allah bring with him. And we had looked at the fact that bring with him is the operative term, that this excerpt that they call the rapture of being snatched away to heaven is actually a fallacy. It actually speaks of those who will be coming down with the Messiah upon his return. It actually speaks of meeting him in the air and then come down with him when he returns to earth. All right, so it's one instance. The believers will be caught up, will be snatched up to him, and with him they will come down to the earth. And we're going to see what they are going to come down to earth to do. So verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of Yahuwah, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Master, bring with him. Both of these terms confirm that it is when he is coming, shall not prevent them which are asleep. So those which are alive shall not prevent or shall not take preeminence or precedence over those who are dead. That's what it's saying. And let's see what will happen. What will be the order? For the Master himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Alua, and the dead in HaMashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Master in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Master. So this is what we are going to be looking at. This is what we are looking at. The dead in Messiah rise first, and those who are alive and remain. Will it be everyone or every believer who is alive and remain will be caught up together with them in the clouds? Because this is what Christianity preaches, that every believer, every Christian or every true Christian will be snatched up and taken away to heaven. Is this what the word says? And for that, we look at two parables, because there are two parables that we are going to share, and there are more that actually tell us a different story about when the Messiah returns. It tells us of when the Messiah returns that he will snatch away the wicked from among the just. So if every believer is going to be raptured, where will believers be for the Messiah to return and snatch the unjust from among them and then bring the just into the kingdom? So let's look at the two parables that actually show us a different picture from that which we have been told in Christianity. So we'll go to Matthew 13, verses 47 to 50. Again, the kingdom of Shamayim is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. They gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels, the Malachim, shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So we are getting a totally different picture here. When the Messiah returns, he's going to sever, pull out the wicked from among the just. That doesn't sound as if he is going to rapture the just away and leave the wicked. No, he's going to take the wicked away, destroy the wicked from among the just. Now let's go to another parable in the same Matthew 13 here that actually gives a more detailed insight into this that we are speaking about. Matthew 13:24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of Shamayim is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. And verse 30 says, Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares. So the wicked first shall be gathered, and bind them in bundles, but gather the wheat into my barn. So the wheat is going into the kingdom. But the wicked are going to be gathered first and be burnt. Yes? So the Mashiach gave the understanding of this in verses 36 to 43. And that gives us more insight into what we are saying, that when he returns, he'll be taking away the unjust from the just. Then Yahusha sent the multitude away, and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. So the children of the wicked one are going to be sown among the children of the kingdom. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age or the world, and the reapers are the Malachim or the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. This is a totally different thing from this rapture. A totally different thing from this rapture thing that we have been taught. Yes? If you go and check out our series, Flee from the Midst of Babylon, what most do not understand, that the end time destruction of Babylon has to do with the wheat and the tares. Why? The just will flee from the midst of Babylon and separate themselves. But there will be the wicked among them. The wicked will be sown among them by the devil. Because not everyone will flee are chosen. Not everyone that will flee will be righteous. So the unrighteous will be sown among them. And so when the Messiah returns, he is going to take out the wicked from among them and bring the rest into the kingdom. As simply that. Okay? So this rapture here is questionable right now, as far as I see. Very, very questionable, because it's actually telling a different story from what the Christians taught. So, from what we have seen here, how can it be that every single believer will be raptured? Who will be left? Who will be left for the Messiah to take the wicked from among the just? Yes? Think about it. Because if he will be snatching away believers to be with him, to always be with him, when he comes back, who? Where is the just that he would be snatching men from among? Because all men who were just, according to the Christian rapture theory, would have been snatched away with him and will always be with him. Simple. Yes? So, let's look at what the coming of the Mashiach is like. Just stay with us. You will see. We will get to the point as to who will these people be who will be caught up. So the book of Jude or Yahudah tells us about those who will be coming with the Mashiach. And let's go to the book of Yahudah 1:14. And Hanuk also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Master cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are unholy among them of all their unholy deeds, which they have unholily committed, and of all their hard speeches which unholy sinners have spoken against him. So, the Master is coming with 10,000s of his saints. So who will be these saints who will be coming? Who will be the saints who will be coming? Let's look at the dead first. Let's look at the dead in Mashiach. Revelation 6:9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Allah and for the testimony which they held, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. All right? These are they who keep the commandments of Allah, which eliminates, of course, Christians who reject the word of Allah. So, these are the slain. These were those who were killed. So that is why they take preeminence in being caught up first. Those who are dead in Messiah are first in line for the first resurrection. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahuwah, Kadosh and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So there are a set amount of persons who should be killed in order to be the saints who come with HaMashiach. So if not every living believer shall be raptured, then who will be raptured? That is a question. If not every living believer, then who will be these believers who will be raptured. And for that, we need to go back to 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Master in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Master. This is the operative term. We are looking at those who are alive. We just looked at those who were dead. We are now looking at those who are alive. And these are those who shall ever be with the Master. Just remember this term. So shall we ever be with the Master. So, who shall ever be with the Master? That's how you know the living who will be caught up. Who does this Bible say will ever be with the Master? For that we go to HaMashiach, Revelation 14, verses 1 to 5. And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. Where were we? And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. 1 Thessalonians 4:17 says, so shall we ever be with the Master. Who shall forever be with the Master? The 144,000. Follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Alua and to the Lamb. So they were redeemed to be with the dead in Messiah. So these were the living, redeemed from among men. These were the living who were or will be caught up with the dead in Mashiach. And then Mashiach shall bring them with him. Yes? And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Alua. Messiah will bring the 144,000 with him. But this is told to us, precept upon precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little. This is told to us in the book of HaMashiach, Revelation chapter 7, verses 1 to 4. And after these things I saw four Malachim standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind shall not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Alua. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Alua in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Yasharal. These, of course, were Israelites. So those were the living who will be redeemed. These were the living who will be caught up after the dead in Messiah shall rise. So, in the same Revelation, HaMashiach 7, it tells us also the dead in Mashiach. Verse 9, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. This is the dead. So the 144,000, the living, the great multitude is the dead in Mashiach, which shall rise, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our Alua, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood around about the throne, and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped Alua, saying, so be it. Barakah and Kabod and Chokmah And thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our Allure forever and ever. So be it. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. No. The Christians are saying they are not going to go through great tribulation. Those who have preeminence, the dead, are going to be those who go through and came out of great tribulation. They came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. These are the dead in Mashiach. Therefore are they before the throne of Allah, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. And this verse is very important. They are before the throne of Allah and serve him day and night in his temple. Where will his temple be? Okay? His temple will be in the kingdom that is on the earth. And that is why they will be coming down with the Mashiach to serve in the temple. The 144,000 will be his elite guard. Those who will be behind him wherever he goes. The 144,000 will be there. But from among these, the dead shall be the priests who shall minister for him in the kingdom on this earth. And for that, let's go to the testament of Levi. Chapter 1, verse 7. It's telling us about the similitude, how Levi will be caught up to the Most High and serve him in his temple. But Levi will be serving on this earth. Testament of Levi 1, 7. And I was grieving for the race of the sons of men, and I prayed to Yahuwah that I might be saved. Then there fell upon me a sleep, and I beheld a high mountain, and I was upon it. And behold, the heavens were opened, and an angel of Allah said to me, Levi, enter. And I entered from the first Shamaim, and I saw there a great sea hanging, and further I saw a second Shamaim far brighter and more brilliant, for there was a boundless light also therein. And I said to the angel, Why is this so? And the angel said to me, Marvel not at this, for thou shalt see another heaven more brilliant and incomparable. And when thou hast ascended thither, thou shalt stand near Yahuwah, and shalt be his minister, and shall declare his mysteries to men, and shall proclaim concerning him that shall redeem Yasharal. And by thee and Judah shall Yahuwah appear among men, saving every race of men. And from Yahuwah's portion shall be thy life, and he shall be thy field, and vineyards, and fruits, gold, and silver. So this is a similitude of those dead in Messiah. And the Most High promised in the book of Yeshayahu that he will take of his people, of the children of Israel, for priests and Levites. And he promised in Isaiah 66 that he would take of his people for priests and for Levites. Isaiah 66:21, and I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith Yahuwah. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I shall make shall remain before me, saith Yahuwah, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahuwah. So he is going to take from these people some for priests and for Levites, so that the whole world shall be made to come and worship before Yahuwah. So it says, so shall your seed and your name remain. So the children of Yasharal, their seed shall remain before him for priests and for Levites. So we could go further, but let's look at the conclusion. The main points that we can draw from this is that we looked at some parables that show, that let us know that not all believers will be raptured. Not all. Some, but not all. Because the parables show us that when the Mashiach returns, He will sever or rip the wicked from among the just. So, we also learned that the Messiah will be coming with an innumerable multitude, which consists of those who are dead in Mashiach and the 144,000. These are those who will be raptured. How they call raptured? These are those who will be caught up, the dead in Messiah, and then those who have been redeemed from among men, the 144,000. The rest of the believers will be here. The rest of the believers will be here, having fled from the midst of Babylon. They will be here with those who have fled from the midst of Babylon, but have not purged away their pride, have not been transformed, have not gotten rid of their wicked and sinful ways. They will be purged, ripped from among the just, and destroyed. And the just shall be ushered into the kingdom. It's a separation, people. On Shabbat, we did a teaching on separation. No separation, no salvation. It is a separation. So the separation begins when we flee from the midst of Babylon. And it continues. When those who we flee with, we are happy to have fled with them. We're happy that these people have come with us. We are happy that they have seen the vision and gotten the understanding that they should flee from Babylon. But what happened when you have fled? Have you transformed? Are you still living in your wicked ways, sinful ways? Have you changed? If not, when the Mashiach returns, he will rip the wicked, the unjust, the unrighteous, the sinners from among the just. That is what it's all about. All right? So the 144,000 will be the elite guard of the Mashiach that will follow him wherever he goes. And from among the dead in Mashiach will be those who will be chosen as priests in his temple. All right? So hope that made a difference to the fallacious teaching of Christianity that all believers will be raptured. The rapture theory of the Christians is an invented hope, as we said before in our previous video, because they have strove to reject Yasharal, so they cannot take the hope of Yasharal, as is written in the scripture, of being set apart and gathered and brought into their own land. So they have to create a different hope. And this they do by twisting 1 Thessalonians 4:13 to 17 to actually invent their so-called rapture doctrine. All right? So hope they straighten this out. Please share it with a Christian. Please, please, please share it with a Christian. All right? Hope you understood it. I hope I was able to bring it out. But this is Chazak Eliyahu Yasharal here. Please, like if you like. Please do share and comment. We welcome. And subscribe if you have not, as we continue to put out these videos showing and trying to clear up the misunderstandings and the false teachings of man's religions. All right? Shalom to you. And until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom.